My name's Carolyn Luciani, and I am the youngest of the 4 Lever daughters, and I've been at Manleys for 26 years. Manleys is a family-owned, operated business, and we sell stationery and office furniture. So we are in our 126th year of business, and we are 4th generation, but 3rd generation Lever family. So it started out that way back when they sold yeast and newspapers, and then we were big with gift cards and giftware, and books was huge. People used to line up to get their school books at Manleys downtown. Now office furniture and stationery supplies are pretty much our 2 main categories. Tons of toner cartridges and stuff like that for computers as well. So in 1978, they built this building that we're in right now, and they moved our furniture location here, and up front was our stationery warehouse. So our stationery warehouse before that was actually where the mall is, where they're demolishing the mall right now across from the big Kenwick building. And they tore that down to build the mall, and so they located up here in Point Edward. We had 2 locations. We used to be downtown on Lochiel Street, where we were forever. That was where they originally opened in 1900, and then they moved across the road. And we moved up here about 14 years ago to Point Edward, and now everybody's under one roof here in Point Edward. My one sister and I are business partners. My husband and my other sister work with us, for us, however you want to say that. I say with us, but and as far as difficulties, I think as long as communication lines are opened up, you don't run into as many issues. Where things start to backlog and you run into problems is as soon as communication is flawed. I think that we have those confrontations more with family members than with non-family members. Just because I think that I sometimes forget that we're at work, and you do treat family differently, and sometimes you're not as nice to people that you're related to as people that you're not related to. So I think with us, the way that our business is set up works out great. My sister Lisa, she runs stationery. So basically anything that deals with stationery supplies, she's in charge of, and I'm in charge of furniture. So anything that comes to furniture is in essence my department. So together, we work together to come up with our decisions, but I respect what she believes in for stationery, and she respects my opinions for furniture. I think the big thing when we have a workplace conflict, what will happen is we have a meeting. And so it would be all of us sit down together and we just talk it out. Communication is the key. If you can communicate and you can do it well, then you can solve the problems. And at the end of the day, when we run into issues, it's because communication's lagging.
My name's Lisa Houghton. I am Carolyn's business partner. I run the stationery part of the business. I've worked here basically when I was since we were growing up, but I came back full time in 2003. I had moved away to the Bruce Peninsula and then moved back here when my dad and my Uncle John were going to retire. So they asked if I wanted to come and take over with Carolyn, so I did. Leave it at the door. We often do talk about it. We'll go to my mom and dad's and we'll sit there if we want to just kind of let stuff out because they've lived this as well. So sometimes we all go there and we'll sit there and we'll hash things out. And sometimes we'll go for a drive, get a coffee, talk about it. I would say go for it. I think it's awesome, but you have to talk before and talk about roles. And again, the communication comes to it again. You can't have you have to have the lines open. You have to, and it works out good for Carol and I because we have the 2 separate roles. I think if we were both working in the same department, I think there would be a lot more difficulties. But I think the way it is, it's nice to have separate roles that's laid out.
Okay, I'm Sasha Gladwish, and I am Carolyn and Lisa's sister. I'm the oldest sister, so number 1 in the ranking is how we always go about it. I work for them at Manleys, and I've been back here for about 3 years. I worked at Manleys when I graduated from university, and then I went off to work a few other companies, and I was very fortunate to be brought back here just a few years ago. I think that if everybody has a defined role, that's the easiest. It cuts down on people's feelings being hurt or, overstepping or confusion to the employees. So just defining what your role is, and remember not to take everything personally, that everybody's here for the same goal, whether they're family or they're not family. We're all here to make the company a success.
So my name is Larry Luciani. I've worked at Manleys for 21 years. So Carolyn is my wife. I quit my family business to join her family business, and here I stay. Families are interesting because we all have our own opinions, and not always do the opinions match. So that's always a challenge. And you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and wreck your family relationship, so you want to tread lightly, I guess, and look at both sides before you speak.
I think if you've never worked with family in a family business before, it's different than our scenario. I would say make sure that you set up a communication schedule, and the more regular that you can meet together, the better. Because again, at the end of the day, communication is key to what makes it work. And just try to be open and respect the other person's thoughts and wishes.